The almost cel-shaded stylized graphics are awesome, and it gives the game an almost comic book feel. But there is some frame rate issues at times, but it does not happen enough to take away from the overall graphical appeal of the game. So the graphics gets an above average score of a 4 out of a 5. The voice acting is awesome, and it helps you care about some of the characters in the game. The soundtrack adds ambience to each situation, and it does really bring the tension into an already tense game. The moans and groans of the zombies are spooky, and the overall sound really puts you into the game. The sound is perfect, so I give the sound a perfect score of a 5 out of a 5. The story is in episode form and takes place over 5 episodes. The story, at its core, and not giving away too much info, revolved around protecting and ultimately teaching a child to survive in a world that is changed by The Walking Dead. The story is awesome, and I believe that even people not familiar with the Walking Dead universe will still highly enjoy the game. There are choices that has to be made, and the choices you make will ultimately determine how the game progresses later on. The ending is awesome, and it has an open endingness to it that just screams sequel. I love the story, so it gets a perfect score of a 5 out of a 5. The gameplay, while good, is the weakest part of the game. There are some minor camera angle issues that takes you away from the game somewhat, and point and click adventure games like this one is, at its core, just does not seem to work as good on the console. The game is much slower paced and is focused on the main character development and story than action. If I could call this game anything, I would call it a mixture of Back to the Future, The Game, and Heavy Rain. The gameplay is great despite its issues, and it gets an above average score of a 4 out of a 5. There is no multiplayer aspect to this game, but the replayability is brought up because most will still want to play through this game multiple times so you can see the results of your different choices. The ending does not change, however, based on those decisions, so I guess it shows that your fate does not change. But still, most will still want to play a few times, so it gets an average score of a 3 out of a 5. This game is not perfect, but it has a perfect story that will have both Walking Dead fans and Walking Dead newbies smiling. If you like games where each choice has a consequence, and a game that has a spooky and high tension feel to it, I highly recommend this game. If you like high action killing 1,000 zombie games, I recommend looking elsewhere. If you look past the fact that it's not an action intense game, you'll be pleasantly surprised to find a gem of a game, and I highly recommend this game to gamers that want a thought-provoking title, so please give it a spin.